I think the moral of this episode is don't mess with Space Mulan. uh, how's everyone doing today, guys? My name's T Codes. This is Star Wars The Bad Batch, Episode 4, Cornered. Interesting name for this episode. I thought Hunter could have been more of a nice thing, because technically speaking, Cornered isn't too much of what happens in this episode, so yeah. But one thing we do get in this episode is the return of Fennec, which is, for those who don't know who Fennec is a bounty hunter in the Mandalorian series. She has appeared in multiple episodes, and she's played by Ming-Na Wen, who voiced Mulan in the animated Mulan movie. So she has she's got a pretty cool track record, and so when she first appeared in Mandalorian, she was exactly like what Fennec is here in Bad Batch, and it's really cool to see her back. But it's kind of funny at the same time, because this isn't a sequel to Mandalorian, this is a prequel to Mandalorian, so we get to see what Fennec was like when she was younger, and for the most part, she kind of was the same, except for the fact that she hadn't joined the Imperials yet, because if I remember correctly, in Mandalorian, they mentioned how she was an Imperial sharpshooter, so the fact that here, she's a bounty hunter shows that she technically joined the Empire, because I'm guessing it was either that or rot in a cell. I bet that's exactly what it was. For all we know, it could have been a lot of Anna. Sorry about that. So, yeah, so she's here in this episode because when the team is trying to figure out where to hide out, they're picking out a planet to hide out on that is uninhabitable, because no reason, actually. They say it's a perfect place to hide, so they're planning to go there, but they're low on rations and food and other things, so they have to make a stop on another planet to trade for something to get credits and all that. So yeah, that's kind of what the episode starts off with. Once they land, however, they realize that their ship can easily be detected and scanned, so they have to. So Tech and Wrecker spend part of the episode making sure that the ship isn't easily scanned, so that way they can just go to whatever planet they want without having to worry about anything Imperial-wise. However, when they do land, the dude in charge of the hangar, says he wants to do a scan, but Tech and Wrecker say, like, no, thank you. And the guy's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to pay. And even though they pay him, and he's seemingly satisfied, he still reports something. He doesn't report to the Empire, though. He reports to Fennec, who is hunting Omega specifically, excuse me. And my bet is on the Camino people. I still don't know their full name. I've seen all Clone Wars. I've seen Rebels. I mean, well, they weren't in Rebels. I've seen all Clone Wars. I've seen freaking the prequels. I still don't know their names. I don't know why. It's just me. So, if my bet is they're the ones who hired, or at least put a bounty on Omega, but it's to be captured alive, because if Fennec wanted to, she could easily have shot the kid, but I doubt she would have even wanted to shoot a kid. Would she shoot a kid? Well, actually, she was gonna shoot, she was gonna shoot Grogu. Okay, I don't know. So, so all of her scenes, in my opinion, were both really cool, but also really intimidating. Like, the helmet that she has, I remember seeing it in Mandalorian, and it looked intimidating. Like, you see Ming-Na Wen's eyes, and she did look intimidating, especially when she had the gun, and you see, all you really see is the gun and the eyes, and you're just like, oh crap. Here, since it's animated, they can really make it look intimidating. Like, there are so many shots in this episode where she is just she's either standing, she's like on a knee, or she's just looking at them, and you just see the eyes through that mask, and it is intimidating as heck. And it's so cool. I love that. I love how they took this character who was really good in Mandalorian and just adding more. They're adding more to her character. I love it. So she tries to kidnap Omega, and the way it happens is a little interesting in my opinion. So while Tech and Wrecker are fixing the ship, Hunter, Echo, and Omega go into town to find a merchant to trade something. At first, Hunter was going to trade a military-grade mine, I think, or bomb, to the guy, but he wouldn't take it, so then he notices Echo, and Echo's disguise in this is actually really clever because, you know, he has one hand that is pretty much a droid part, so he basically dresses up as kind of like a droid. Like, his suit is mostly the same, except his helmet really looks like a droid. So alright, sorry, camera problems there. Okay, back to what I was saying. Echo's helmet looks like a droid, so for the most part, it's kind of clever, and it actually fools the merchant too. Like, he thinks Echo's a droid, and then he offers 2,000 credits, and I love how Hunter is just like, give me a minute. And so, and at first I'm like thinking, oh, he's gonna throw on Echo onto the bus, but then I thought, wait, if he thinks he's a droid, he thinks he's gonna be like, okay, well, you can't really do much, right? Well, Echo is still a clone, you know, so he could probably easily get out. So, and that's kind of the conclusion they go to, is like, Hunter and Echo talk about it, and they say, you know, you can easily get out, right? And so Echo's like, okay, but you like, raise the price. I'm worth much more than 2,000 credits. And I love that. I love Echo in that. He's like, wait, you're gonna trade me? Okay, you know what, fine, I can get out of it, but I'm worth more than that. So they, Hunter says 4,000, the merchant says 3,000, and they settle on that, and I can see Echo just being like, 3,000. Like, he even makes jokes later where he reveals himself as not a droid, and the guy's like, what? And he's like, don't worry, you got me for a bargain. It's like, I just love it. When the jokes hit, they hit good. I love it. But throughout this entire negotiation, Omega, you know, she's kind of hanging back. She's looking at a few things in the shop, but then she notices these dog-like creatures. I don't know what they're called. They looked like a loth cat from Rebels, only like in the face. Like, the rest, they looked kind of doughy, you know, they had hands, but they were kind of barking like dogs. And so Omega, you know, and they're kind of cute. They were kind of cute because, I mean, I thought they were cool, and I thought they were cute in design. Omega thinks they're really cute, so she follows them a little too far, which is the problem. Well, actually, no, wait. She's holding, the reason why she's going after them is because she was holding a, stormtrooper or clone trooper, like, doll thing, and one of the dog cats, ate it, and so then the cart started moving, and so Omega had to chase him down to get the thing back, because, you know, she didn't want to lose it, and it was also in the store, so she, you know, you break it, you bought it. So Omega technically wasn't doing the wrong thing in the moment, you know, she just got caught up in this, oh crap, I have to get this back or else kind of thing. And yeah, so she gets separated from Hunter and Echo, and wouldn't you know it, she runs into Fennec. And what I like about Fennec here is she kind of does have some of the personality from Mandalorian. And I say some because, you know, she's still a bounty hunter, so she has to play this game with Omega. You know, she doesn't go, she literally shows up and she has the helmet off, so she's just this, to Omega, she's just this lady who wants to help, and they do, you know, and, you know, Omega's like, I lost my friends, and Omega, and Fennec's like, oh, I'll help you find them. And so they go walking, and they have a conversation. They talk about some things, and they have this moment where they do the classic bump into person carrying food, pick up the food for them, but keep one, So Fennec did that because Omega said she was hungry, and so Fennec snatches two fruits for her, or one for her and one for Omega, and Omega notices that and says, like, you didn't pay for that. And she also did notice the blaster that Fennec had, and so Fennec says, sometimes you can sometimes it's okay to break the rules if they're for something. And I'm thinking, like, I can see that idea coming back. I mean, it's not entirely wrong. I mean, granted, yes. I mean, most rules should be followed. There are some rules that, we all have our different perception on what rules, Okay, let's stop talking about that. And so, this is kind of interesting too. Like, Omega said, like, if you're alone, maybe you can join the team. And I'm like, honestly, I would like to see that. I mean, Omega Fennec with the Bad Batch. I mean, she's with Boba Fett in Mandalorian, so that technically isn't too far off of clones, right? But speaking of clones, Hunter catches up with them, and you get a pretty interesting chase. So Fennec attacks Hunter, but Omega's able to at least catch her off guard so she doesn't get a jump on Hunter, or at least catch Hunter, or at least get the first kill, or at least make the first move, I should say, on Hunter. The two get into a fight. So after Omega does that, she takes off because Hunter said so, and so Hunter and Fennec get into a fight. It's a pretty cool idea. It's a pretty cool fight. To start, they're throwing knives, they're blasters, they're throwing punches. Fennec headbutts Hunter and tries to chase after Omega. And so all the while, Echo is in the back of this merchant shop with 4 droids. One of them is kind of like a C3PO kind of unit, but it's a voice of a lady. And then the 3 droids, 2 of them pretty much look like the classic droids we've seen in the Clone Wars, Rebels, and the Star Wars series. But then there's this one droid that it looks like a combination of R2-D2 and Chopper, but it has arms and legs. So it has these little arms and these little legs. It actually is not that bad of a design. I mean, honestly, that can be a costume. That's how interesting of a design it is. It can be a costume I can totally see a kid at Halloween walking around like that, you just his arms and legs sticking out, and he's just got this suit on. It's a cool design, and I also love Echo's interactions with the droids. Like, he reveals himself, and you're like, what? And then, they also have the restraints on them, those things. But Echo's just like, okay, basically. And so with Omega on the run, Tech and Wrecker have to go find her. So Wrecker goes to find Omega, while Tech goes and hacks into the security cameras to look around the city to find her. This, of course, leaves the ship, still under maintenance, and Echo takes that as the opportunity to take all the droids to the ship to fix it. So, everyone's doing something in this episode. And Hunter, meanwhile, is also chasing after Omega, which leads to the sewers. And I like that. I like how Omega, in this situation, she kind of thinks outside the box here and there. I mean, well, I say kinda. I mean, you could have easily had her running through the streets, not sure where to go. But no, she runs through the streets. She rounds a corner, sees the entrance to the sewers, opens it up, and goes down. Smart move. But Fennec, unfortunately, noticed it too, or she didn't really. Actually, it's weird. So, Fennec rounds the corner. We see all this from Tech's point of view, which is through the camera, and she sees the cover, and it's closed. But she goes in. So I guess maybe classic bounty hunter instinct. I don't know. This leads to the sewer where Omega finds Wrecker, and the two are seemingly okay, but then of course Fennec shows up, which leads to Wrecker telling Omega to get back to the ship, and two interesting things happen in this moment. One is when Wrecker sends Omega up the ladder, Omega goes all the way up to the cover, to the entrance where the ladder, or to the entrance. It leads to the top of a freaking tower. I mean, I'm like, wait, okay, it's like, you're in the sewer, you go up a ladder, and all of a sudden you're on top of a tower. Is there such a thing? That was weird. And this one was both ridiculous but hilarious at the same time. It's Wrecker going up against Fennec. Brains versus bronze. That's literally what happens, because Wrecker tries to throw a punch, Fennec literally redirects it and smacks Wrecker, smacks Wrecker's head into the side, and Wrecker's just, oh. I mean, I was like, dang! And at the same time, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, oh, Wrecker. But interesting thing is he hit his head again. Whereas the last episode, we saw him holding his head and like, oh, my head. This time we didn't see that, but I wonder if the more times he hits his head, the more likely that inhibitor chip is gonna activate. Or maybe it'll just break. Who knows? It'd be like, it's like, wait, what? It's like, what's up with my inhibitor chip? It's broken. You've hit your head so many times. Honestly, I mean, technically that wouldn't be too crazy, right? So, yeah. So Omega is on the top of this tower. She locks the door, but, Fennec just blasts it. They are stuck on top of the tower, and Hunter, meanwhile, snatches this one dude's speeder and goes up. Kind of reminded me of Attack of the Clones, that chase sequence in Coruscant. I mean, Bounty Hunter, the Bounty Hunter 2 guy, or a guy, it's like not too far off. I mean, except this one is just speeders rather than cruisers, I guess. And we have this cool sequence where Fennec and Omega, they're jumping there. So Fennec and Omega, they land on this one like truck-ish kind of thing, but Omega finds like the lever that lifts up the back part of the truck, causing Fennec to fall. She lands on another cruiser. Omega is hanging on, and then she catches them, but Fennec is also, but they're also being chased by the authorities, because I guess the Empire hasn't gotten there yet. I don't know. Actually, no, they were there. The clones were there. They were celebrating them. So I guess this was a planet that didn't see too much of the war, or maybe they were liberated, or I don't know. So who knows? But Fennec has a few cool moments. She like lands on this one dude's cruiser, just smacks his head on the dash, and just throws him overboard. Then she has another where she just like shoots this one cop chasing her. It literally goes through the shield on a dude's bike and just hits him right in the chest. Such a cool moment. And then Hunter gets the last laugh on her by throwing the grenade that he was originally gonna sell, but the guy wouldn't take, onto Fennec's cruiser, which explodes. Fennec is able to escape. Cool superhero landing, in my opinion. Rescues Omega and to escape. And Fennec is left with, nothing. Team meets back up, gets on the ship. Guy in the hangar is like, no, wait, you can't leave yet. She hasn't paid me. She hasn't paid me. It's so funny. And so, of course, this leads to the group realizing, Omega is in danger, and they need to know who this bounty hunter is and why they were sent. So that kind of means Fennec, this isn't a one-off for Fennec. She's coming back, which I am excited, because again, Space Mulan. Don't mess. And also, cool thing is, the dude in the hangar, they meet, they have a scene where he's talking with Fennec, and he's like, I tried to stop him, but they just left. I'm sorry. And so Fennec, she gives him like one, I guess, of the credits, and says like, if they ever come back, you know how to contact me. And so, again, I like that. She has some honor, but, I mean, if you get in the way between her and her mission, yeah. Like, I mean, again, she landed on one dude's cruiser, smacked his head and threw him overboard. Like, he could have been dead, and then straight up shot a cop, so... This is, rather interesting, but... Yeah, so that was pretty much... Yeah, that was Cornered, and... NANI? This game was weird, you know? Okay, so, overall thoughts on the episode? I thought it's interesting because on one hand, it felt rather quick. I mean, it's 25 minutes, so, you know, that's the shortest episode of the series right now, but... Okay. Oh, I really hope it doesn't happen like this tomorrow with my... Amphibious Season 2 finale True Colors review. You know that episode is coming up tomorrow. Who's excited for that? Tell me you guys are excited for that, because when you have Disney put a warning at the beginning saying there's something at the end that may be disturbing for younger viewers, you know something's going to happen. My bet is someone's gonna get the axe. In my mind, it would probably be Grime, because, I mean, he's been more of the comedic relief for most part of this, and it would be a gruesome scene, in my opinion, because it would be Andreas, most likely. You know, Andreas would I can definitely see Andreas just squashing Grime like a bug. It would be disturbing enough. Or who knows? I mean, we'll find out tomorrow, won't we? So, yeah, but in terms of this episode, I thought it was really cool. I thought, for the most part, it was really cool. It was really solid. I'm glad we got Fennec in this, and I'm glad we're going to get more of Fennec by the sounds of it. I liked how the team was able to work together by, you know, Tech being eyes in the sky, Hunter chasing her, Wrecker, you know, obviously being the second chaser, and Echo all the while fixing the ship so they can get away. So, you know, again, you know, each of them were doing their part. I mean, in terms of, like, actual story, I mean, yeah, I mean, they were introduced to a bounty hunter, and now they know that Omega's being hunted, so I guess there's not that too crazy. So, okay. Alright, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, that's all I got for this one, but, we're 1/4 of the way through for Bad Batch, you know, 16 episodes. This was episode 4. I'm excited to see where the rest of the series goes, and yeah. Okay. That's all I got. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. You don't have to. Also, if you guys want me to do anything else, like I said, I'm gonna do my Invincible review. I'm gonna do the whole season. I've watched all 8 episodes, and I feel like breaking them down each one episode by episode would be a little too tedious at the current moment, but at the same time, yeah, good. Obviously True Colors is coming out tomorrow for Amphibia, so I am definitely gonna be reviewing that. So yeah, I'm excited, and you guys should be too. And with that, I say see you later.